Hi everyone, this is Ethan, and I'm doing a 14 weeks on T updates, changes. I actually got my webcam to work, so I'm going to see how that does. I couldn't get the sound to work, so camera probably has better quality, but you get this time. So I see more hair. My partner, when we go out and play ball with the girls, in the sun, she says I'm just a sheet of peach fuzz all over. And she rubs her nose real lightly on my peach fuzz, doesn't even touch my skin. And she said it's getting longer. She saw chest hair. I can't see it. It looks blonde. Everything looks blonde to me when I look down, but she says it looks dark to her. So anyway, some updates. Name change. Name change is happening on April 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. I've completed posting my name change in a newspaper for 4 weeks, and I have all my ducks in a row, so just about a week from Monday and that'll be done. I'm excited. Also, I have my top surgery scheduled for May 3rd with Dr. Michael Brownstein in San Francisco, California. And if I'm looking down on this, I'm sorry because I'm looking at me. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that more than I could ever show, but you guys know how I feel about, well, you know how I feel. So anyway, I was thinking I had done a video on my camera before this thing, while this thing was loading, and I realized that there's some things I want to talk about, and one of them is, we always look at life, well, I shouldn't say we, I always envision my life, my pathway. I set goals and try to meet each of them. And when I decided to transition, there are certain things that you want to happen. You do your research, you watch other guys and what they did in their pathways and in the order that they did them. And so I'm talking like name change, surgeries, gender marker, things like that. So as we go in our pathway, and like I've got my name change coming up, my top surgery coming up, and then I'll have my gender marker change coming up. There's things that sometimes stumbles into our pathway that is unexpected, and it's just like life goes. There's always something that puts a little twist into it. Well, I have been asked to be a part of It's a Man's World FTM 1 collab channel. And I was invited by Tyler, and I thought about it and I thought, that would be great, because the way I am as an individual, if my experiences or if my philosophies from my experiences, my theories from reading, how I put things into perspective, if any of that can help anyone, then I feel that I have fulfilled what I'm here for. And so this is one way for me, number one, to get to talk, because I love to talk. And number two is to share what's happened to me, how I responded in life. Not always good. I mean, I've made lots of mistakes. And now I don't even know if you call them mistakes. They were things that weren't so good for me, but I learned from them. But I get to be on it every Tuesday afternoon. So if you're interested, there's a lot of guys out there talking about a lot of different topics, got a lot of different views, a lot of different angles. So go visit that channel and see what you think about it. Another thing is that lately in the media, it's been about Kirk Cameron, and I guess he was asked about Prop 8, and basically his response was he believes gay marriages are unnatural, and then they really ridiculed him about that, and he was asked again, and he said that he was surprised that people were surprised at his response to that question, because he's a bound Christian for the last 15 years and swears by the word of God. And, I'm reading that, and someone made a remark on Facebook that I have as a friend. I don't know the person, but you know how things go when you play games. And basically, they were coming against the media for putting him down, and poor Kirk Cameron, he's a nice guy and all that. And so anyway, the thing is that I've experienced in my life, people, my own career has been put in the newspapers. We've been bashed. We've been ridiculed for the money we make. And yet, if you ask any any Joe or Harriet on the street, ask them if they would do the job that I was doing, they'd say, hell no. And so, the thing is about the media is they're going to stir crap up. If they can find someone to start an argument, to oppose a statement, to oppose a person in the media, they're going to do it. And the sad thing is that the gays and the lesbians, transgender, and bisexuals and queer, or whatever you label yourself, we're always going to be a topic to the heterosexual world, especially in the religious bound people. And it shouldn't be shocking, and you honestly should get to a point where you just say, you know what, let them follow what they think. Because I'm telling you, I was born and raised in a family that thinks Bible bound. But the one thing I've learned in my life is that there's many traditional stories handed down in different cultures that are similar to the Word of God in which the Christian faith is based on. And interpretation has been changed. Words have been changed. Excuse me. Getting choked up over this. Do you think they even knew what homosexuality was in those days? They didn't know that word. That word came from man in later days. Does anybody in the church really study the Bible and the Hebrew language and really research those things? Because if they did, they'd find that the very cities that they use as homosexual cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, was not put on fire because people were homosexual. That is so far from the truth of that story. But that's what they base them on. And people are ignorant. They follow people because they think they're the ones who've done all the research. They think they're the ones who are closest to God and knows. And it saddens me that people don't take the time to question things that are different. Because life is about evolving. People evolve. We are not like we were, like our great-grandparents were. Hell, people that didn't even have, they only had horses and coaches and wagons would freak out over the sports cars and the cars we have on the road now. They'd probably think we were all hellbound. I mean, think about it, people. Come on. Don't knock other people because they want to go to a place where they feel pure, where they feel good, where they feel they're doing something right. Don't knock them. I know it gets aggravating because they're constantly prosecuting us. But that's when you step up and you be an example of humankind, loving, kindness. Do you know what conquers all? Love. You know what? I'm sorry that they contradict the very life they live by judging, by saying people are going to hell, by saying people are not natural. They do not know. No one knows anything. We don't know how death is. We haven't died. And the people that's died hasn't come back and told us. Yeah, there's people that say they have, but I mean, to each their own experience. I live my life being raised religiously. I live my life being a good person. If I see someone fall, I'm going to help them up, regardless if they're black, yellow, white, female, male, homeless, dirty, clean, prissy, whatever. I just lost my my screen went dead. This is new to me. Anyway, do this. Come on, people, be bigger. Strength is in numbers. Be good people. That's how I live my life. You know, I used to live in fear because of the Bible. And as I got older and started questioning things and started researching things, you know, and realized, I started asking, well, how come there's so many different religions if there's just one Bible? And you know, it's because religious studies, if you go to school, take a religious studies class. Find out how someone didn't like how someone was doing something, so they started their own thing. Okay? There's so much to life, you know. And I think church is good for people who need a foundation. But you draw the line when you start judgment and start hating and teach your kids to hate. And that's where bullying comes into play. And it's all around us. It's always going to be, whether it's against the gays, lesbians, bisexuals, queers, transgender. It's going to be about some other label that comes up later in years. So as we get older in life and things evolve different from what we know them to be, keep your open mind. Be there for those kids growing up in that era, because life is constantly evolving. And I hope that I hope I didn't scramble around on my topic there, but you know, leave Kirk Cameron alone. He's got his own views, his own opinions. He just had a chance to base them in the media. And to those right religious people who have prosecuted and ridiculed the response to him, shame on you too. You shouldn't have even gotten involved with it. You should just live your merry way, stay out of it. Fight your own battles, people, and pick them. You know, unless you're being harmed physically, mentally, emotionally, personally, leave it alone. Leave it alone. But anyway, I know I'm probably going to get some comments. You know, I just ask that if you're hateful, I'm just going to delete them. Yeah, they're your opinion, but there's no reason to be hateful, because I'm not saying anything bad about anything. I'm just telling you what I've experienced, how I've dealt with my own upbringing. I'm a very spiritual person. I believe there is a creator. I know for a fact because he's carried me many years when I couldn't carry myself anymore. So I just don't like religion-based people who don't treat other human beings very good. And that's where I'm coming from. So anyway, one thing to think about: unnatural. What do you think unnatural is? I'll tell you what I think unnatural is. I think unnatural is when you have a species as humans that have sex with other species, like animals. Or you have predators that prey, like humans. Human predators, sexual predators, prey on weak and children. That's unnatural. So that's the only thing I can think of that's unnatural. I know people who have been stranded in the desert with no water, who has drank their own pee. Is that unnatural? No, that's survival. So let's just remember, there's a fine line to everything. Always be on the positive side. Whatever can make a human being happy and pure and kind and giving, that's what it's about. That's what life's about. It's your journey. Pick your battles. Make it as easy as you can, as simple as you can, and take it one day at a time. All right. So I'm going to end it here. I've done enough talking. I'll talk to you later. Bye.